Here we go. It's your coach, Pauly C, Austin, Texas. Okay, man, I think it is so important right now to engage with you guys, having had personally experienced coming up through a recession. So in 2008, when I first got in the business in Las Vegas, Nevada, the earth had already quaked on the financial institutions crashing. And so January 2008 is the first month of full-time real estate. I've been licensed before that, but just part-time and playing around, investing. And so I thought in the fall of 2007, I began to get some coaching, but went full-time literally January 2008. So it was the perfect storm for me to be able to get involved in real estate. And while the market was crashing, my first year I did 14 transactions, then 36, 52, and then 129. And really I was able to grow through the recession. Now it wasn't easy, right? There were times where I really felt like quitting, doing 50 transactions and not really making a lot of money because the average price point was $108,000 and banks were only issuing 2% commissions on foreclosures and short sales, which were 90% of the sales in Las Vegas, Nevada. I had to grit my teeth and grind, and look, it created a lot of character. It created a lot of perseverance factors for me to be able to stay engaged with real estate at a high level. And while this market is a little bit different as far as how this is going to affect us, because while technically we're not in a recession right now, it's here, right? The financial consequences and what that's going to mean to people, it's already happening. You might already feel it. So I've begun this series on being able to recession-proof your business. And there's 5 strategies that I mentioned in my first video. Yesterday, we dove into the first strategy, which was stay close to your database and be human. Come from care and concern first. Be hospitable as far as being the source of good information. And then finally, come from help on how you might be able to help them professionally to be able to lower their interest rate or help them buy or sell, because people still need to buy or sell, and I need to just find those people. So today's topic is strategy number 2 and 3 is double and triple your prospecting efforts, and then the third strategy is create a niche. So let's jump into double and triple your prospecting efforts, because how much time are you really spending prospecting? Do you know it for a fact? I'm often and never cease to be amazed on how when I ask somebody who I'm coaching how many transactions they did the last 12 months, they don't actually know. They don't know where the business came from. And so if you don't know where you've been, then how do you know where you're at or where you're going? And so it is with prospecting, is understanding how much time have I really been spending prospecting? Because a lot of you will say that you're busy. What does that mean? How busy are you? And certainly if not, I'm not in the income generating business. If I'm not in the business of lead generation, then I'm out of business. At some level, I need to be in the lead generation business, because I saw it time and time again. Really good people whose intentions were to serve, but who were not intentional about lead generation, end up out of the business in Las Vegas. People have been in business 10, 15, 20 years. And many of those people left the business and went and got JOBs. And so because they weren't intentional. So how intentional are you being about how much time you're actually spending? How are you tracking it? I have a numbers analyzer. Email me and I'll send it to you for free on how you can begin tracking your numbers and being able to track how much time you're actually spending lead generating. And look, talking to your database is lead generation too. There's so many different ways to lead generate, and we'll talk about creating a niche in a minute, but that's the exciting part, is that as long as you're talking to people, right, you're engaging conversation. Ultimately, I want that conversation to be rooted around real estate, and you can easily do that in the rapport script that's in the playbook, where you can ask people, where do they live? Where they move from? How long they've been here? How'd they happen to choose the area? If they could move, where would they go next? Having those questions internalized allow me to have a prospecting conversation about real estate anywhere, anytime, any place. And so the second point that I made under double and triple your prospecting efforts, aside from how much time you're actually spending and how you're tracking your time, is time blocking. Actually creating a time block in your calendar for who you're blocking, who you're prospecting when. So your time block should not just say prospecting, it should say calling expireds 9 to 10. Follow-up 11 to 12. Be intentional about blocking all of your lead generating efforts, including follow-up, so that you can have a roadmap, because if it's not written down, it doesn't exist. Now, I know it exists, right? But like in the professional world, we know that when we write things down, they manifest themselves and they become real. So write it down, block it. How are you going to hold yourself accountable to that? Whether it's a coach or somebody in the office or a mentor or somebody on your team. Look, get real with accountability, because double and tripling my prospecting efforts will not be easy. Sometimes it won't be fun. Now, I can make it fun, but it's still work. And so it's hard, and there will be times where you don't feel like doing it because you're fatigued, because you don't feel like doing it, because you're hungry, because you've been getting a lot of resistance or not a lot of results. And yet I know, I've experienced that if I'm not intentional about doubling or tripling my prospecting efforts, then I could very well be out of the business. Now, I have a couple quick points on creating blocks and being intentional about actually executing your prospecting time. Is number one, create a bunker. Put the phone away. Prospect in a different place outside of your workstation so that you're not checking emails. This time is critical for you to be able to engage lead generation at a very high level so that you can get the results that you're looking for. Because look, I'm really looking for 9s and 10s. I have to, I really, really want to, or I need to. I have to, and I really, really need to. Because those 6s, 7s, and 8s, those are the people that are going to be falling off, canceling escrow, changing their mind, sitting on the fence. There's going to be plenty of those people, and some of those people will move forward. More of them will move backwards. And so finding the 9s and 10s is going to take some effort to make sure that I find those people. And so create a bunker that creates a safe zone so that your prospecting is executed. Now look, crawl before you walk, before you run. So maybe you're blocking a half an hour. Maybe it's 45 minutes. Certainly 50 minutes, and take a 10-minute break, because prospecting 2 or 3 hours at a time is difficult. And if you're not conditioned to do it, like running the mile, you're not going to do it. Okay, so crawl and then walk and then run. Knock out 30 minutes. Knock out 45 minutes. Knock out 50 minutes. Begin to develop that habit of being able to stay in prospecting for a specific period of time and staying focused, not texting on my phone, on my email. Your career's at stake right now. Your family's at stake. Your future and the profession that you've chosen, because there will be financial consequences to what's happening right now. Okay, now the secondly is the affirmations. What kind of affirmations are you doing? Prayer, meditation, affirmations, music. What's your pre-prospecting routine? Just like a professional athlete. I mean, for God's sake, even attorneys are role-playing before they go into the courtroom on big cases. So what are you doing to align your psychological and your physiological state? Because if you don't have psychological and physiological alignment, I'm telling you, the belief will cancel itself out. And so having the body in alignment with your energy and with your beliefs will allow you to be in the moment, to listen more carefully, to ask great questions, to bring the energy, to create good conversations, not wait for them. I got to create them, but being intentional about what I'm saying and understanding that the energy is so critical because it's contagious. Energy is contagious. It's real. We know that, right? And so affirmations, prayer, music, whatever it is, to have a pre-prospecting routine so that I can be executing my prospecting and getting it done, truly doubling and tripling it. Okay, look, we've gone long on double and tripling your prospecting efforts, so I'll do another video on finding a niche, but look, make sure that you're figuring out how much time you've really taken. Start tracking your time, block it, create a bunker and protect yourself, create some affirmations with a pre-prospecting routine so that you can recommit to all of the people that are going to need your help out there, and so that you can find the ones that really need it. It's happening right now. Go get yours.